Welcome to the traditional Irish pub, a place where the barman knew your name before you ordered, where the same seat was yours without a word spoken, and where the craic was better than the drink itself. Today we're stepping inside the Irish pub as it used to be, before the gastropubs, before the tourists, before everything changed. Let's see how many you remember.
Some say that drinking's a sin, but a gaggle is fine now and then. For drinking has been in this world forever and ever, amen.
The first thing you'd notice when you walked into a traditional Irish pub was the warmth. Not just from the fireplace, though there was always one, burning turf or coal, but from the place itself. The bar, the floors, the walls, worn smooth by decades of elbows and hands. The ceiling yellowed by cigarette smoke. The smell of Guinness and sawdust. There were no menus, no food, just drink. Porter, stout, whiskey, maybe a packet of Tato if you were lucky. The pub wasn't a restaurant. It wasn't entertainment. It was a second living room. A place men, and it was mostly men, went after work, after dinner, sometimes instead of dinner. The barman stood behind the counter, arms folded, knowing everyone who walked through that door. He didn't need to ask what you wanted. He knew. He'd been pouring your pint the same way for 20 years. And the pub itself? It looked the same as it did when your father drank there. Nothing changed. That was the point. Now you walk into an Irish pub and there's a menu the size of a book. Craft beers. Wine lists. The wooden floors are polished. The walls are clean. It's brighter. Louder, different. We gained convenience. We lost atmosphere. In a traditional Irish pub, you didn't choose where you sat. Your seat chose you. If you were a regular, and most people were, you had your spot. The same stool. The same corner. The same view of the bar. Nobody sat there. Ever. Not because there was a sign. Because everyone knew. The pub was routine. Ritual. Comfort. You knew who you'd see. You knew what you'd drink. You knew you belonged. The barman was part of it too. He remembered your usual. He remembered your DA's usual. He remembered when you got married, when your child was born, when things went wrong. It wasn't just a pub. It was community, connection, belonging. Now pubs are full of strangers. Tourists taking photos. Hen parties. Stag doss. You don't have a regular seat anymore. You don't know the barman's name. And he doesn't know yours. We gained variety. We lost community. On a good night in a traditional Irish pub, the music would start. Not planned. Not scheduled. Someone would bring out a fiddle. Someone else a bodhrán. Maybe an accordion. And they'd just start playing. Traditional Irish music. Reels and jigs. Songs everyone knew. And if you knew the words, you sang. If you didn't, you learned. Or you just listened, pint in hand, tapping your foot. The music wasn't performed. It was shared. No stage. No microphone. Just a corner of the pub, a few musicians, and whoever wanted to join in. And the craic, that untranslatable Irish word that means conversation, banter, atmosphere, joy, all mixed together, the craic would be mighty. Stories would start. Arguments about hurling, football, politics. Who caught the biggest fish in 1974? Laughter, singing, the clink of glasses, the smell of turf, the warmth, that feeling of being exactly where you belonged. That was the Irish pub at its best. Not fancy, not polished, just real. Now the music is scheduled, advertised. Live Irish music, 8 p.m. Tourists film it on their phones. The musicians are paid. It's entertainment, not community. We gained professionalism. We lost spontaneity.
Dúnmh na dóirse breis 8 géad pobanna tuthe le 3 bliana nús. Mar a dtír Micheál Folin líonn ófá 1 ceann don 8 pobanna idir Bearne agus Litamór aontaithe i rinne seachtaine. Agus sé an scéal céine fud na tíre, go háirithe I gceantar ar ghulta faoin tua. Cén fá? Cagur míad mhéar an bhilleán.
The traditional Irish pub started disappearing in the 1990s and 2000s. The drink driving laws got stricter. Rightly so. But it meant people stopped dropping into the pub on the way home from work. Too risky. The smoking ban came in 2004. The right decision for health. But it changed the atmosphere. The smell, the haze, gone. The pub felt different. The traditional Irish pub, dark, smoky, male-dominated, unchanged for decades, couldn't survive in modern Ireland. And in many ways, that's progress. But something was lost too. We lost the ritual. Walking into a pub and knowing exactly where you'd sit, what you'd drink, who you'd see. We lost the belonging. That feeling of being part of something. A regular. Known. Expected. We lost the simplicity. A pint. A conversation. A song. Nothing more complicated than that. We lost the community. The pub as the heart of the neighborhood. Where everyone gathered. Where news was shared. Where life happened. The Irish pub isn't gone. There are still thousands of them. But the traditional Irish pub, the one your grandfather knew, the one that hadn't changed in 50 years, the one where the barman knew your name and your seat was always waiting, that's vanished. And with it, a piece of Irish life that will never get back. The traditional Irish pub was never perfect. It was often exclusive. Dominated by men. Smoky and unhealthy. Unchanged because it resisted change. We're better off in many ways. Safer roads. Cleaner air. More inclusive spaces. More choices. But that feeling of walking into a place where everybody knows your name, where your seat is waiting, where the music starts on its own and the craic is mighty, we miss that deeply. If you remember the traditional Irish pub before it changed, you're part of a generation that knew something special. Something that won't come back. Which memory hits you hardest? What should I make next? Drop it in the comments below. And if you want more journeys through Irish memories, like and subscribe. We're just getting started.
Is you is or is you ain't my baby? The way you're acting lately makes me doubt